Good morning. My name is Andy Wen. So I'm presenting on behalf of myself and Keith Griffith, who did the design with us on this project. So this project is a mixed-use project. It's a bank headquarters. The building is owned by the bank headquarters, and then there's this office and a hotel on top. This is in the center of the CBD area in Taichung. Taichung is southern city of Taiwan, that yellow area, so it's like a west center Taiwan. So you can see this, this is a new CBD area. It's been built up since the past 15 years. So right now it's pretty densely built up, but as you can see, there's still a lot of land in this area for the development. And we are on a major street corner and next to a park. And we're right in the dead center of the CBD. So as you can see, our site next to the park. Now there are many new buildings around, and all the buildings, these high-rises, they're all boxes. Okay, so some very interesting, beautiful buildings, but they are all generally boxes. And I think most high-rises are boxes. So one thing we try to do on this project is how do we get away from that simple box, which is just to resolve all the function. So the problem with boxes, you're either inside or you're outside, but you cannot have kind of like a spatial environment inside. So that's one area we want to tackle. And also Taiwan, like buildings in China, in southern China, you have a lot of these very local houses, local buildings from the history, from the past. So we try to touch upon that, but in a very modern way. Our client made it very specific that he wants a bank that is very, very modern. So just very briefly on the brief, it's 66,000 square meters. The building height is 225 meters. So you have a hotel that is 38 stories, so it's on the top half, and the hotel is 290 rooms. So that's your basic program. Yeah. So if you stack the program together, pretty much, we do quite a lot of skyscrapers. This is what you have. You'll have the hotel stacked on top of the office building, and on the bottom you have the headquarters and the main lobby for the headquarters, and then you have some amenities on the top. So that's the basic diagram you have. So what we tackled is, so how do we make this building a place? Now, just a little bit about our client. Our client is second generation. He just became chairman of the bank, and so his father worked his lifetime to create this bank, which is called the Taichung Bank. So now it's become the national bank in Taiwan, one of the main national banks in Taiwan. So he specifically wanted to dedicate this building to honor his father, who's very healthy, but he just retired, he's stepping down, and the son is taking over. So how does he honor his father? So we wanted to give him a way that he can honor his father by giving the bank and this building to the people. So usually you have a bank is like kind of very like all enclosed. So how do we give it to the people so that to create a very interactive an environment that is friendly? So what we did very simply is we cut the building in half, open it up, and we put all the amenities, all the blue you see, all the amenities in the middle of the building. So what you're doing is you're creating, if you go to Taichung, Taiwan, you have many of these traditional buildings that are one story with a courtyard in the middle. So what happens, you go in, you find out actually in this heart of the house is outdoors, it's green. So here in a modern way, we try to achieve in a three-dimensional vertical way is that the center of the building is outdoor, it's green, like the traditional Chinese building. So how do we address the street corner? Okay, so we take that green center, we turn it 45 degrees, because actually it's very kind of right next to that building. So you turn it 45 degrees, so you create an urban space, a street corner that people can gather, and then you put in the amenities, and you break up the amenities in the middle, and you link the two sides, and so you have the building with the amenities, and then we put green inside these I'll call them boxes now, but in actuality they will become lanterns. So this is the Taichung Bank in Chinese, and that's their logo. And you can see the logo, we kind of adapted to the logo, so you have these two things holding a void, a space in the middle. So in a very similar manner, this is our first sketches from the building. When you open it up, we'll try to create the space inside, and you link the spaces, and you adapt the spaces to the function. So in actuality, this plan is very much like the bank, their whole idea of giving and working with the people. So these are the first initial sketches. And just a little bit about the plan. The yellow is our main public hall. So right here on the corner, this corner, you can see that we created a gathering space that brings the hall in. And the hall is public. You know, it's not just for the bank, it's for the public. So bank can use it, the hotel can use it, but although the bank and the hotel, they each have their own entrances, but they can share the center space. I just want to make a point there. There's 3 cores. Hotel core, office and bank core, bank office. And that's mainly for services. So that's about efficiency. So, because as you go up the building, it's going to become 2 towers rather than 1. So 1 on the bottom, 2 on the top. But 2, you're going to have 2 set of fire stairs and all this. But in this way, the back is connected, so it's going to be very efficient. And we put all the amenities in the middle, all the meeting rooms and the ballroom for the hotel is right in the middle. And at the top of the ballroom, you see we put this is on the 14th floor, we put a swimming pool. And now a little change from this function just recently, we've been working with the hotel consultant, is that we changed their program with the pool. We made it all restaurants and bars right around this pool. And we're also kind of putting the hotel lobby in the area. We want to make that floor, that area, the pool, the heart of Taichung. This is where all the young, cool people would hang out, right around the pool. And of course, the pool is a glass pool. It cantilevers out 10 meters. It's a glass pool that you can see, from below up. And then above that, it's all outdoors now. And you have lanterns kind of hanging out. These glass boxes, they're lanterns. So right there, on the left, you see the glass cantilever, the pool. It goes out, so you can see it from that street plaza right here. That's the new urban street corner. Inside is that public lobby, which we're going to make into kind of like an art exhibition lobby on the bottom, and you can see the pool cantilever out. And these are just some of the stacked amenity spaces. The lobby is a 4-story high lobby, very well lit. And you can see on the pool, that area, actually, we developed the design, it's now even more green. So it's kind of like a real green heart up there. That's the cantilever. The glass is actually acrylic. So this, you look at the pool, and we have now, I just spoke about opening up the sides. So you have restaurants wrapping all around, and you have these boxes on top. These lanterns might be colored, and in the lanterns, they're attached to the elevator lobbies on the different floors. So you can enter them, so there are little gardens inside, and they overhang the pool. So that's kind of a section. So you have different heights. This particular one is three stories, so you can grow big trees inside. And then on the walls of that garden, we're starting to call it a secret garden. You have these LED panels, not for commercial, not for advertisement, just for kind of art displays. So kind of very interactive art display in that secret garden, which you have plants and lanterns and Chinese lanterns, of course. And on the top of the building, we chose, rather than have like these corporate conference rooms and stuff, we chose to have coffee shops and restaurants. And they terrace down so you can enjoy the outdoors. So that's an aerial view of the street corner of the main public lobby on the bottom, and the pool, and the stepping down of the amenities at the top, and that main void. And that's the shot. I'm calling it a secret garden now, but we wanted to really make that the place in Taichung. It's the happening place. Is the place where everybody wants to go. It's kind of to hang out, have a cup of coffee, or have a drink with your friends, or have breakfast and brunch. That will be the place, and then that will be shared among many people with the office and the hotel and just all the public spaces. And that's looking right up the building. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So I'm a really keen swimmer, so I'm completely sold on your pool. And I like the idea that this is a kind of box of public amenities and it becomes a kind of vertical street, and people kind of congregate different activities. So I just want to kind of follow up, how public will it be? I mean, given that you have a bank and hotel and, you know, with security and access. So if I just wander in off the street, could I use the pool?
Well, you have to. Bank
entrance is here.
Yeah.
Hotel entrance is over here.
Yeah.
That's the public.
The public hall, yeah.
The public lobby.
Yeah.
So we have art exhibitions here.
Yeah.
Constant art exhibitions. So go in the hotel as you go up to the lobby, and the check-in lobby is actually on that floor.
Right.
So we're going to combine all that together with restaurants and
Yeah.
the pool and gym. So that's going to be happening. And you can access the pool, you can access the restaurant. Now, whether they will open up the pool to everybody,
Right. But
I think that's a management issue.
I see. So at the moment, you have to be a hotel guest in order to use it. Is that the
No,
idea?
I don't think so. Some hotels that have this idea is that we go to the restaurant, we go to the coffee shop, we look at the pool, and you can get a monthly membership to the pool, to the gym, the spa. They have a spa, so you can become a member that way, or you can pay on the spot. So I guess because they're not totally fixed on one
Yeah, it's
particular
a-
management hotel yet, so that will be kind of a management issue. But we are proposing that they do open it up.
Right, okay. And the other thing is, with that kind of volume of water, does it play any kind of part in your environmental control strategy, as a heat sink or anything like that? I mean, is there an environmental design component to your strategy to the pool, or just the whole building with the green gardens, etc.?
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be a LEED Platinum building.
Right.
Okay, so because it's bank, office, and hotel, so that in itself will be sustainable. But we're looking at as we speak, we're now doing the landscape for that whole void there. So we have done wind tunnel tests for this because there are typhoons in Taiwan. So
Right,
the
yes.
tunnel test has, we've done this during the competition and even more now. So it's fine. That area inside is not going to be a wind tunnel.
Right.
So we're because the void on the two sides is actually the core,
Right.
and all of that will become green as well
Okay.
because you won't have that wind tunnel and it'll be fine.
Christy?
Unfortunately, you've asked exactly the question that I was going to ask, so I've got to think of something quite different. I suppose I was going to ask about the democratization of that central core, because there are hotel complexes in Southeast Asia that have raised swimming pools and raised, rooftop restaurants, but they're still pretty exclusive. I mean, in order to be able to afford to go there, you've got to have a certain level of income, or in order to be able to afford to go to gym club, gym membership. So the thing is that if the idea is that it's going to be a building given back to the people, at what level, at what sort of social level will this actually be available to, as Catherine said, anybody coming in off the street, who can't necessarily afford, these really quite high-end facilities?
Yes, this is the exact issue we've been constantly speaking to the client, and I think we remember that it's a second generation client. The idea is that he will gratify his father to give the bank. It's actually also kind of like a commercial kind of idea to really bring the people in. So what we're talking about right now with the management is that the gallery, the public lobby, and the hotel lobby, that's going to be very public. Because remember that plan I just showed? We're switching all the functions, not just spa, to all restaurants, coffee shops, and a small bar. And so that will be connected. You don't have to check into the hotel to be able to use all that facility. And I think the pool the pool itself is actually a gathering heart. I'm sure we all go to these kind of places quite a lot, but without actually going swimming. So that's how we make that a really public place. So if at night you just go there for a drink or go there for breakfast, you're able to use that place. It's not closed off to the public. So we have direct express elevators that go right there.
Karen?
You've spent a lot of time talking about the core and the quality of the space. I'm just a little bit concerned about the quality of the spaces in the two volumes on either side of the core. And then height in a building. This is 3 football fields. So when you're up there, 300 meters off the ground, can you really get outside? What is your experience up there? That's very high off.
Yes. Well, this is I personally have done several towers in China, similarly, that you kind of start opening up, creating these kind of green hearts and stuff inside. Now this is a taller one, but especially I just kind of explained our wind tunnel test that is already proving that this is quite a calm area where we're able to do more planting, more green than we had expected during the competition stage. So that's going to happen, and the core is on the side, right? So you don't have the rooms overlooking that. You have the core and core lobbies that can share. You can come out on these lanterns. Sorry. You can come out on these nice green lanterns and just overlook the space from the elevator lobbies, either from the hotel or from the offices.
But I'm still want to know what is the quality of the spaces in the two sides. So say you're in a hotel room. What is your experience?
Well, we're looking at this space that's about close to 20 meters wide. Some places narrower. I think we kind of very carefully adjusted the boxes so that they're kind of interlocking.
Are the boxes looking in or are they looking out?
All 3 sides.
No, I don't think you're understanding me. I'm asking the two sides. What is the quality of the spaces in the two sides? How do they relate to is it a glass facade and you can see out of it, you can't open it? Is all the activity happening to the center?
The boxes are enclosed, air conditioned.
No, I'm not talking about those boxes.
Outside is all.
Yeah, okay.
Paul?
Well, this came through yesterday. I was chairing the jury then. This is the old Abbey Hanson road practice from the UK, which became Aedas. They've expanded immensely in the Far East, and they're doing huge projects in China. So the question that we brought this to a head with is very much what you and Christine have been asking, which is about this building's appropriateness to place. Or I picked that up from you. And we asked, programmatically and architecturally, how is this international, modern, contemporary building anchored in place? And we're thinking of climate, etc. It's back to your point about what's it like up there. And I'd just invite you to rehearse that again.
Yes, this I was talking about the Chinese courtyard house, and of course we're now in a skyscraper, and we're in the volumetrically controlled, so you're kind of protected from the harsh, well, if harsh during the typhoon. So, but that kind of works as explained. So this we are developing it to a very, very green heart, like a courtyard space that you can look into. And of course, we created these green lanterns so that the lanterns, you can be in a lantern looking into the space, or it works as well that you're in the space or in the pool looking at the green lantern. I think it kind of works that way, and also looking at each other. But of course, the lanterns are not rooms of the hotel. It's public, so you can, anybody can go into those lanterns if you're in the hotel or in the office and use that to look at that different space. And of course, there are these kind of linking bridges that go across, which also acts like that. And of course, I think the challenge onward is that how how well we can design that landscape within that place that we call it the green heart or the secret garden that we
It's
have.
exactly to your point, which is it's a public slot, and we wanted to make sure it was a public slot, and that's the message we asked him to take back.
Yeah.
And that's how we also respond to the local history. But you need to understand that there's no historical buildings in this area. It was blank. It's just started from nothing. And all the new buildings, they're boxes, they're fine boxes, but we wanted to create the place of that CBD that's a kind of like an aerial garden that's kind of secretive, but you can access it. You can take your friend, your daughter, and go there for a cup of coffee. That's what we want, because the new CBD area that we're in is kind of harsh. Just very quickly built. There's no places. Now, there's some gardens, but there's no like wonderful little niche places, and that's what we want to do.
It does sound like you have a bit of leverage with the client and also perhaps with the tenants. So hopefully that sense of public access can be preserved when it's finally built.
Yes, this is one wonderful client. Very young, very interactive. He knows exactly what we want to try to do, and I think as we're constructing this right now, we're looking to make the program even better, as I just explained, to make it even more viable in making that a true secret heart of Taichung. It's the place to be.
But I think we have slight concerns about what it's like to be in those offices around they're just kind of floor plates with, there's like more conventional. But anyway, we must move on because I think
Right.
we're getting slightly behind time. But just stay there and I will do the honours.
Is that a question?